looked like a bright start, but obviously it's a real tense battle from there that put you at risk of losing your grip on it.
Well, it certainly did, yeah. It was an arm wrestle all day after the sort of first 5 minutes of the game. And we kind of expected and prepared for that, to be fair. So the way that we started the game was probably a little bit of a surprise, but from then on, that was completely what we expected. And there have been those sort of games for the most part against the Saints. They've unfolded like that, been close games, or they feel like they're a lot closer than what sometimes the scoreboard suggests. So they're really good in contest. I think they had really strong contest day again, loose ball gets particularly, and they're number one in the comp for that. They just keep turning up to contest, and their ability to win that ground ball was really strong today against us again. So we'll need to review that and fix that before a fortnight.
It seemed like they were able to stifle the ball movement from defence to attack and even match you in that area.
Yeah, they did really good.
Last term, I guess, when it opened up a bit.
Yeah.
You're able to sort of get the game back.
Yeah, I thought they defended extremely well. They shut down some of our players, no doubt, listening to the pre-game stuff, that they'd prepared heavily to be able to do that, and I thought they executed that quite well.
How frustrating was the first 3 quarters, particularly? It was only 28 inside 50.
Yeah.
It felt like there was a little bit of sideways movement as well, trying to get around where early on, or late in that third, early fourth, you just started getting in, knowing.
Yeah, I didn't think we adjusted early enough to that. I don't think we were bold enough with the ball. And that doesn't mean just kicking silly balls through the corridor. There are a chance they're getting intercepted. I think, we need to play a bit more direct, and we didn't do that. And so, we'll go to work on that. But
obviously missing a few guys up forward, but in terms of the guys who were there, Krzyzewski was really strong. He had some really strong targets, and he looked efficient when he got the ball forward. Is that a real source you can take out of the game? That even though you didn't get the number of looks you liked, it looked good when it went in there.
I thought it did. Both teams had their moments. But yeah, I thought Max contributed really strongly again today, and that's been really good. He did the same thing against Gold Coast last week, and he's done, to be fair, the same thing in the VFL for us all year. So we probably weren't doing that well enough. I felt like we were just trying to play too perfect, to be fair. I think that was the summary of our ball use, trying to play too perfect, and it didn't quite unfold as we expected. So then, we're going around in circles a bit. So look, we'll go to work on that. I think it's an easy fix, but it took us a little too long to fix it today.
Sometimes you need a bit of brilliance to win a game. I think you had some at the end to save the game with Toby and those 2 marks. What do you think when he pulled those out?
Oh, well, that's Toby, isn't it? There's not many players really that back to back can not only generate another 30 seconds for you to take that off the clock, hit the post from the boundary lines, pretty close shot, and then go back and knew that they were going to attack corridor and protected it for us. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, he just that's what he does, honestly. But having said that, we don't want to rely on that, but it's nice when it does happen.
How important was it to have a leader to show that kind of desperation?
Yeah. I think he's done that all year, to be fair. The leadership that he's grown throughout the course of the year, particularly in big moments, I think he's outstanding. Defensively, I thought he was really strong. So he had a really, really good game. We probably need to kick it into him a bit more.
How was Cogs after that head knock?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to Cogs after. I spoke to him at half time, and he seemed okay. So, unfortunate, but ultimately the right call was made, obviously, and we'll monitor him pretty closely for the next fortnight.
You talk a lot about Toby's leadership, and leadership's been a bit of on-field leadership's been a big theme this year up to the way last year ended. St Kilda obviously had a lot of passages of momentum in that game.
Yep.
How much confidence, especially the last game before finals, do you take out of stopping a team who, as we've seen in the last few weeks, 4 wins in a row, being able to capitalise on that momentum, and you guys were able to find a way to kind of stifle it in the end? Yeah,
I thought we had some really good moments in that space. Towards the end of the game, it was a coin flip really. Either team could have won. And so for our guys to really stand up, I thought Tom Greene around the stoppages and Briggsy around the stoppages were both really good. I thought Toby in general play was strong. Whitfield's run was really important. So our leaders and our more experienced guys, I thought, responded really well. And we have had opportunities to practice that up until this game, and that'll certainly be challenged in finals. So we need to maintain that level.
The move to send Harry Roustelton as a sort of a little bit in patches, especially in that second half, had some really strong moments and again kind of showed his versatility as a role player.
I thought he was pretty good. He's tough around the ball and he does some really strong stuff around stoppage. But his transition game has really grown since he's got here, and we're really comfortable playing Harry. He's contributed today, contributed last week in different roles. So yeah, he's been playing really good footy.
What do you make of Finn Callahan's game? Having Windhager run with him for quite a bit of the games, the precursor to what's probably coming his way in the final?
Yeah, possibly. I think he started the game really well. Looked great out of stoppage. Windhager comes to him and really stifled him up until half time. I thought Finn's response after half time was really good. I thought he managed to find the footy, generate a little bit more attack for us. So that was a really good battle. They probably shared the points in that one, but really good lesson for Finn. Windhager's a really good player. He's a player who can not only play on the opposition best players and shut them down, he can also find the footy himself. And so, we really rate him highly.
Do you think your team is better today than 12 months ago into the final series?
Yeah, I think we're better. Yeah.
What are the areas? Yeah.
Oh well, I think we've grown in our ability in close games to manage them. That we've been reasonable at them, but clearly in the finals last year we didn't get it done. So I feel like we're in a better space with that. I think our general game is in better order. I think our stoppage game is in better order. I think our attack is in better order. But again, it's a new season now, so who knows?
Brent Daniels had a good return, even though the people guys lost yesterday, but he looked very good. Is it a matter of, we're confident he's ready to go for that first final now?
We think so. We'll check in with him in the next couple of days just to see how he's pulled up. But he moved well. He got through the game really well, played well. He'll certainly be right in the mix.
There's the potential for as many as maybe 5 changes with 5 key guys on that verge of coming back. How much of a balance is it about? Are you confident that if they're ready, you're happy to make all 5 changes? I know there's a lot to go before that happens, but what's your headspace?
It'll be an interesting match committee that'll probably last the next fortnight. Around, do we bring in 5 guys who haven't played in some a couple of weeks, some a couple of months, and so that'll be the discussion point. How many is enough? How many is too many? Are we making the right changes? Do we back in the guys who are already in the team? So you're right. We could have all of those guys, and I expect to have all of those guys available. It'll then come down to a matter of how many is too many, and either way, people are going to be unlucky, I think. So that's a really good position for us to be in. We now need to capitalise.
And just on Barkley, we only caught you minutes after training Friday. His calf, it's just a little bit sore, so it needed the extra week.
Yeah, well, it was the opposite calf, in fact, that he hurt, which I was unawares of. Walking off the training, I was thinking it was the same calf, but the other ones, I'm not sure how, but it's very minor. I expect him to be available, but I expected him to be available last week and he wasn't, so I don't know.